Good morning and welcome. My name is Mike Jacobson. I'm the Director of Athletics at Utah Valley University. And it's great to see so many of you here to help us celebrate this historic day. This is so important for our student athletes, for our coaches, and for you, our community, our fans, our friends, our neighbors. We appreciate very much you being here to help us on this special day. We're going to turn some time over right now to President Holland, and he will speak for a while, and then Connie Hurlbuck, she'll speak to us.
Chairman Butterfield and fellow trustees, Mr. Mayor, President Marv Higbee, administrators, staff, faculty, and especially all beloved students, I'm pleased to announce that Utah Valley University has accepted an invitation to join the Western Athletic Conference. I can't tell you how thrilling it is to see these two great logos side by side on this cap. This is a historic moment for the university, and I couldn't be more personally thrilled or institutionally proud. It's such a phenomenal thing for us to be part of the Western Athletic Conference. It means so many things to us. This is a terrific brand in collegiate athletics. It's a storied, long history of terrific teams and outstanding competition, and for us to be part of that is just exactly where we want to be. It's a regionally focused conference. What this means for developing rivalries, and especially on the part of the administration, what I think it means for our student athletes, to not have to send them all over the country, but to keep them closer to home, which is better for their academics as well as their athletics. This is just a tremendous thing. One of the things that we appreciate about the WAC is that they are committed as much to academic excellence as they are athletic excellence. And those are two watchwords for us here at Utah Valley University as we aspire to be our very, very best. We're serious about academics, we're serious about athletics, and the WAC is a conference that has those same kinds of values, so we are extremely proud to be part of that. To say nothing of automatic qualifying bids for NCAA tournament play, which we all know that our teams are absolutely worthy of. I would like to take a moment and thank our partners in the Great West Conference. This has been a wonderful association there. We've effectively built that from the ground up, and we've played leadership roles there. I've spoken with Ed Grom, Conference Commissioner. He's wished us well and congratulations, as have other of the presidents. We wish them the very best. We're thankful for what that conference provided for us, including chances for us to win the Great West Commissioners Cup 3 years in a row, an outstanding performance by our student athletes. We are thrilled to be associated with our new school partners, Denver University, University of Idaho, New Mexico State University, Seattle University, and Cal State University Bakersfield. These, again, are tremendous institutions that are at the front lines and cutting edge, if you will, of athletic prowess and academic excellence. and we are going to make a terrific partner with those institutions. What we will bring is immediately competitive play in all the sports that we offer here at Utah Valley University. We also will add to the conference top facilities like the one that you're sitting in today. A wonderful and significant media market will be something that we bring to it. I think the fact that this is happening, this athletic success is coming right in sort of hand in glove, if you will, with our progress academically. We've instituted structured enrollment as we've initiated new academic standards for the institution, as we've hired a record number of PhD-trained faculty that move forward the university's institutional mission for four-year programming in a whole new fashion. These things go together in a powerful way and will reflect well on the conference more generally. And finally, I just want to say a word about how we got here. We got here because of a lot of people and a lot of great leadership. And it starts, and I think it would be unfair if we didn't say it, it starts with this man to my left, Mike Jacobson, in his 29th year as athletic director. He truly has built this from the ground up. He's had the passion for it and the patience for it. A lot of ups and downs, but over the course of the years, continuous progress that he's never given up on. And I have to say how personally gratifying it's been for me to work with, to learn from Mike Jacobson, and to see what he's done at this institution. It truly is, I think, a modern miracle in collegiate athletics, and I can't pay enough tribute to Mike and his contribution. I also think that we have to acknowledge the great coaching staff that we have here. We, across the board, our teams are well provided for by coaching that is committed to winning, committed to competition, but doing it in the best of ways, doing it with class athletes, class programs, continuing to focus on academics as well as athletics, ensuring that what we do well, and we make contributions out in the community. I think their holistic approach has paid huge dividends to the institution across the board. I'm grateful for their effort. I'm grateful for our fans that come out and support. Some of these fans have been at this for a long, long time. They come rain or shine, and they're there, a core group. I look forward to seeing that fan base develop in a more exponential way with the advent of our entering this conference. And finally, and perhaps most importantly of all, I pay tribute to our students and especially our student athletes. We are doing this today for you. Don't be mistaken about that. There are a lot of things that can happen to the institution, but this is for you today. Student success is at the heart of our institutional mission, and you not only exemplify student success, but we now have a new platform for student success on a whole new level. We know that you will live up to the responsibility that comes with this great opportunity that we have. We've done it for you. We know that you'll make good on it. This starts a whole new era for which we are grateful. I can't help but look out and see President Marv Higbee here. What a great thing to have President Higbee here. This is something that's been built for years and years with leaders and coaches and staff that may not be here in office right now to celebrate, but who are very much part of this story. So on behalf of them and for all of you and for this community, we take this moment to celebrate this great UVU victory. Go Wolverines! I'll now invite up Connie Hurlbut, who is the Associate Commissioner for the the Western Athletic Conference, old habits die hard, to say a few words to us. Thanks, Connie.
Thank you very much. It is indeed my honor to stand here before you and welcome Utah Valley University into the Western Athletic Conference. This is a very exciting day for all of us. We look so forward to the addition of Utah Valley University as a competitive partner, and your leadership team is being part of the WAC Board of Directors and other leadership teams that will continue to move the WAC forward. This is what our board of directors, which is our presidents, consider the first step in our evolution of the WAC. We very much look forward to being a bigger conference, a stronger conference, with the ideals exactly expressed by President Holland. I'd like to tell the student athletes in the arena today what you might expect from WAC competition. It will be fierce. It will be with coaches, not only your own, but your competing coaches, who recognize and value the student-athlete experience and welfare that you're receiving through intercollegiate athletics. And it will be one of the ideals of high sportsmanship. We consider all of these things when we look for new members, and the Utah Valley University certainly fit that criteria. So again, on behalf of the Western Athletic Conference, welcome to the WAC.
Thank you, Connie, and thank you, President Holland. I need to pay tribute to President Holland just a little bit. Conferences are run by presidents, and those relationships need to be built. And President Holland has worked tirelessly his 3 years here to build relationships with the presidents of the Western Athletic Conference and with the conference office. He's talked to them multiple times on the phone. He even has flown and met with the presidents in person to be able to tell his story, to be able to tell our story, so that they would get to know us and who we are and what type of a partner we would really be. And he's done such a great job with that. Presidents that have gone before, President Higbee, who's been mentioned, President Ronsberg and President Cedarberg have helped to pave the way to get us where we're at today. I've heard from President Ronsberg and President Cedarberg in the last couple of days, and they're very excited. I need to tell you a little bit about President Higbee, Marv Higbee. He hired me 29 years ago, and I was in his office. And he was talking to me just after he told me I was going to take a $10,000 cut in pay coming from Springville High School to Utah Technical School at the time. And anyway, he's got his finger up in there and he's saying, "Now, Mike," he says, "I want 3 things out of you." He says, "You're going to keep me out of trouble, you're going to win ball games, and you're going to build an athletic program just like Snow College." So you need to understand where we were at and where Snow College was at the time. But President, I hope we haven't disappointed you in those demands. To our students, the students of Utah Valley University, this wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for you today, through your very generous student fees that you continue to contribute in the support of athletics. It's allowed us to do much of what we do today and to put us in a position where we are today. And without your support, that would not happen. I need to say thank you to you. To our student athletes, you've recruited and you've come to Utah Valley University knowing that there's really no light at the end of the tunnel, knowing that you can be the best you can be the best in the conference and maybe even the best in the country, and there's no opportunity for an AQ, for the automatic qualifiers. And you've still been willing to come and to be a Wolverine and to wear green and be proud of who you are. And we appreciate you and we love you and we look forward to the future. You're going to benefit from the WAC conference greatly. A special thanks to Ed Grom and my colleagues in the Great West Conference. We came together 4 years ago to build an opportunity for us to compete, to build an opportunity for us to be in a conference. And we're very fortunate this time to be able to move on. And I wish each of them, the very best as they go forward. And lastly, to the WAC conference, to Jeff Hurd and to Connie, and their support of us and their willingness to give us a chance and give us an opportunity, and to the presidents of the conference that President Holland has already mentioned, and for their support of us going forward. The past 5 years has been a long haul, and it's been a lot of work and a lot of time and a lot of telephone calls and getting to know people and building relationships, attending basketball championships of the Western Athletic Conference and meeting those ADs and letting them get to know me a little bit. And we've built those relationships over a period of time. But maybe just as important is what we've done on campus. in that 5-year period of time. The way we've been able to improve our facilities, the Howe Wing track and field, and the great facility that it is for our student athletes as we continue to build it and add on to it, it's just been tremendous. The Clyde soccer field, we've totally renovated it and have made it a first-class, top-notch soccer field. We contend, our hope is to do more of that in the way of additional seating. And to our Wolverine softball field, what we've done to it with its renovation and its upgrades. And we've continued to build all of our facilities and strengthen them, realizing that's an important part of being a member of a major conference. At this time, I'd like to announce of one thing that we're going to do going forward, and it's in the UCCU Center. We've got out to bid right now a Jumbotron system that'll be here in this building, which will include stat boards and media boards and digital score tables and advertising ribbons, and will it be everything that you see it will be. It's a state of the art. It will really enhance the spectator experience and hopefully enhance our athletic experience at the same time. We're really looking forward to that. And part of that bid is also media and stat boards for the PE building. This is where we compete in wrestling and volleyball. And it's also part of that is going to be a new scoreboard for the softball field. So we're doing the things we need to do to be a good partner in the WAC. We're doing the things we need to do to represent our university the way it needs to be represented. It's a great place, and so proud of our student athletes, what they've accomplished, for our coaches, for their support, and all those that have got us to this point at this time. I appreciate them very much, and this is their future. And we look forward to working together for all of this. Going forward now, on our agenda, Coach Hunsaker will speak to us for a minute, and then Coach Nixon will speak to us. After that, we're going to, those that would like to, are all going to stand and sing the school song. And those of you who don't know it, which is quite a few of you, we've got it up here for everybody to read, but let's be enthusiastic and excited about doing that. And then after we sing the song, we're going to sit back down and we're going to open it up for a question and answer period. There'll be a roaming mic that'll go out, and we encourage you to all stay and be a part of that. We don't want you leaving and causing a big confusion at that time. But when we do end it, we've got two things. We've got refreshments here on the side, and we've got a WAC UVU t-shirt for everyone that is here. And so they're set up on tables up above. There'll be people helping to distribute them to you so you get a size that fits you just right. Those of you that are on the main floor here, we'll have t-shirts over in the corner for you so you don't have to go and fight the crowd up there. So we'll turn the time now over to Coach Hunsaker.
Thank you, Mike. President Holland, what a wonderful day, what a celebratory day we have at Utah Valley University. So many I'd visited with through the time often mentioned that the WAC would be out of reach for the Wolverines, just maybe too high a reach. To keep that in perspective, I got 4 players on my team that are married, and if you take a look at them and their wives, nothing is out of reach. I want to again thank all those that saw the potential, that had the belief in our university to continue to pursue a conference affiliation with an automatic bid, particularly the WAC. Mike and I had many conversations through the number of years about different conferences, and I think both of us always agreed that the WAC was a wonderful fit for our institution. Very competitive. It's a big step in. President Holland mentioned those schools, and I get a little nervous at times, but they're all wonderful institutions and very competitive in athletics. But it's something that I really do believe our university is ready for, our athletic program is ready for, our men's basketball team will be ready for, and it's a great challenge that we look forward to. I'd like to thank all the former student athletes, the friends of our program we've had, certainly through the time I've been at Utah Valley University, and it should certainly extend back into the junior college era of many that laid the foundation, even the building we're in, as I learned more of the history through Val Peterson and how it came about, and Mike Jacobson and those that were part of it. The building itself is part of our being WAC ready. And there are just so many that did so much to have this moment for us today. But the student athletes that I've had it here have been just a wonderful group. As you've maybe heard me say before, when I took this job 10 years ago, that my colleagues all thought that this was not a good choice. This was a very poor decision. As I stand here today, this is a wonderful decision, a great opportunity to be in the WAC conference. And the student athletes before, I can see Jordan Brady up there and Jordan Schwarbick up there, and there's many more. Sean Deadweiler's with my staff now. I see the two Steves, and Steve Watts and Steve Wynn, who meant so much to me. And this is a great day and a great start. I see how about the Green Man group? So I would go to a Jazz game last year when Ronnie Price was making one of his appearances with the Phoenix Suns, and they announced at halftime the Green Man group, and I had no idea. And here they come trekking out on the arena, and they bring the house down. So the Green Man group are a wonderful addition to our program. Again, I want to thank everybody. We have a lot of work ahead of us. Thank the WAC. The only people happier than us today with this announcement are the WAC. Thank you. Thank you very much.
As has already been said, this is a historic day for UVU Athletics, and as I told my dad that I might have a chance to make some comments this morning, he said, well, I'll tell you exactly what to say. It's about time. In women's basketball, we talk a lot about opportunity, and I do believe this is an opportunity that was the cumulative effort of the vision and hard work of our administration, as they went on before, has been mentioned with President Romsberg, making the decision to go to Division I athletics, and President Cedarberg, and now President Holland, our administration for Mike Jacobson and his staff. And I know a little bit about the tireless, relentless effort that has gone into that. And I think they're truly heroes in this equation. And as my staff talked about it, we really do believe the true heroes in this are the student athletes. Those that have gone on before and came here when things were very unclear about our future, but were willing to be a part of something that was building and growing. And to our current student athletes, all of which came here not knowing if they were going to be able to compete on the stage of an established conference. And I think the real credit goes to them for their belief in the vision of what UVU could be, for their relentless hard work to prepare themselves for this opportunity. We not only are excited to be in the Western Athletic Conference, we want to compete in the Western Athletic Conference. Although we'll miss some of the team bonding and road trips to some of the more obscure parts of the United States that we've traveled to, we are looking forward to the road trips to the Western Athletic Conference tournament and to the national tournament. And we believe that we're prepared to compete there and to be successful there. And to all those of you that have been a part of it and believed in it, I personally say thank you. And on behalf of all the athletes and the people in women's basketball, we're very excited and grateful for this opportunity.
Anybody. Let's start out with the media, though.
You're right here.
Okay, we're going to take the time now to open up questioning for President Holland, Mike Jacobson, and Connie Hurlbut. We'll start with the media. Down on this, Jared's got the mic. Just say your name and who you're with if you can.
Marty Rensoff for Salt Lake Tribune. Connie, what, I know the WAC has 6 teams now. What are the plans and to add more to make, NCAA ready?
I want to make the point that at 6 we are NCAA ready. The way the provisions of the NCAA rules are is that at 6 if your membership falls below 7, you are good for a 2-year grace period. It's not a waiver, it's an automatic. That said, I think the board of directors of the Western Athletic Conference envision a larger WAC, envision something around the ideally 10 to 12 team mark that would establish us into 2 regional divisions to minimize our student athlete travel time.
Hi, Neil Warner with the Daily Herald. Mike, this is for you. How overall ready do you feel like the programs are to step in and compete at the WAC level?
That's really a good question, Neil. And, we might think we're more ready than we actually are. But, we've worked hard to get to that point. We've really competed with all of the WAC schools in all of our sports throughout the last, 4 or 5 years. And so I honestly think we're really in a good place. I don't know that we're going to be the very best in everything, but we're going to be in the mix for everything. I think our student athletes and our coaches have recruited and prepared well.
Maybe just to follow up, can you talk personally about just the satisfaction that you have had to see this athletic program go from a junior college to membership in the WAC?
Well, it's just totally a team effort. No one person does or accomplishes anything. It takes a lot of people with a lot of hard work and a focus and a determination and a commitment to making something like that work. It started out as kind of a dream, and I think going into it, if myself or President Ronsberg, either one knew what it really would entail, we probably would have never done it in the first place. We thought it would be an easier transition than what it's been. But we're at a great place now, and because of the help and support of so many people, we're there. And it's just been a totally team effort from day one.
Mike, Matt Peterson with the Daily Herald. Matt, describe wow. Mike, describe the difference between last summer and now, because the previous summer when you guys were vying for an invite from the WAC and it didn't happen, just what made this change happen and how gratifying is it that it's happened so soon afterwards?
It's really hard to say just what has happened. The WAC has got itself in a position to where it really needs more membership right now, and we're fortunate enough to where we were prepared enough to where we would be a good, viable candidate for that. Last summer there was a lot of ups and downs. I know my wife had me on suicide watch at the house a couple of times, and so. But no, really, it just took us to work a little bit harder. Between the president and myself, we did things just a little bit different, a little bit more aggressive in that time since that I think has been very positive in the results.
Connie, you talked a little bit about the addition of more teams and maybe a regional WAC. I know you don't probably have an idea of the time frame exactly, but can you give a general idea of how many years we're looking where the WAC will change again?
I think membership growth is an ongoing initiative, even despite the wonderful additions that we have today. I don't know that I can clearly give a timeline, as those of you who have been following college athletics obviously know the landscape seems to change about 4 times a year. So I think exactly kind of going forward, no real timeline, but it does remain an ongoing objective of the conference office and the presidents.
President Holland, you've been playing kind of the advocate for UVU, the go-between guy between UVU and the WAC. Describe some of the ups and downs through this process. Mike said this has been kind of a 5-year haul. You kind of had to deliver the bad news a little over a year ago, and now you're right here with the good news.
Well, it has been a bit of a roller coaster, and it's frankly not an easy thing when you feel like your future is effectively in the hands of other people, which is how it works in this world. And what's maddening about that is I knew I was representing a first-class institution. I knew my teams could compete. I knew we were good enough academically to be with these other schools. So we have all the fundamentals in place, and yet you've got to go through this process, and there's a dynamic to it that has to play out, and you're doing all you can do, and then you have to kind of wait. And so that has been not the easiest thing to go through, but Frank, I was able to go through it with Mike, and we'd console each other and keep pushing ahead. And so this is a particularly gratifying moment when we feel like the arguments have been heard, people have seen, I think, clearly now that we have an outstanding set of facilities, we've got a great coaching staff, I think they see institutional commitment to it, and above all, I think they see students who can compete and who will do well in their courses. And so for a university president, I can't imagine a more gratifying moment in these areas.
Last question for me. Connie, how closely were you and the rest of the administration of the WAC monitoring UVU's athletic success this past year? You had the baseball team winning 40 of its last 41 games, the men's basketball team qualifying for the first postseason. How big of an effect did that have in essence?
I think we certainly looked at where Utah Valley was competitively and how we thought they'd compete in the WAC, and clearly the successes of the teams that you've mentioned the last year certainly contributed. But I would say that what really swung the vote, if you will, was the persistent and persuasive discussions that President Holland and Mike had with their WAC counterparts to kind of get this done. Again, we look for people to be immediately competitive. We see that in Utah Valley. But more specifically, I really do think it was the work of these two gentlemen to my right.
Mike, you mentioned athletes who came here on faith, basically. What do you think this does to your recruiting now?
Probably be better spent by letting the coaches tell you that. But no, as our coaches recruit, the number one concern that they have is that the athletes ask, what conference do you compete in? And of course, when we've said the Great West, that's kind of been a negative for us to some extent. Most of the student athletes around the country that we've recruited, are aware of our situation. They're aware of possibilities of the WAC, and so that question always comes up. I think we've continued to get better every year we've been Division I. Every program has recruited better athletes every year, and I think as we go forward now, that will open the door to even greater success in our recruiting process. And I know every coach is just ecstatic about this opportunity of selling the WAC to their recruits. Looks like the media is done, so we can open up to any other questions that someone might have.
Thank you. George Zinn, I'm an avid and unrepentant fan. UVU. Always will be. My question is that I'd like to know what your plans are for the revenue and a capital base that would ensure success for the long term, such as fundraising, a Wolverine club, something such as that.
This is very important to our program. We've got a very strong Wolverine club right now. We are actively involved and engaged in our community in fundraising. We've had tremendous support from our community in helping us build our facilities. There's no question on my mind as we go forward and as we contact the same donors or potential donors, because we're in the WAC, that will make a difference. And so we look forward to our revenue going up. We look forward to our gate receipts going up. But we look forward to everything we do, being improved and being better and having the opportunity to support and provide for our program.
Quick question for Connie. Any specific schools that are being targeted for expansion? And when she's done with that, quick question for either President Holland or Mike. When are you going to put actual grandstands over on the softball field?
I going to take the easy part of that question. It probably wouldn't be wise to start naming specific institutions. As I mentioned, those discussions are ongoing, and the other thing that our presidents have been clear is that they welcome and want and need the support and leadership of the 2 new presidents coming into the WAC to make those decisions.
Dave, we'll put grandstands up when you cut me a check.
Tom Rasmussen. I'm one of the old athletes, 72 to 73, played basketball. My question to you, have you contacted any of the past players to get an idea of how excited they are that we're joining the WAC?
Our coaches have worked hard to try to get the information out to past players, to have them here today, and we do have quite a number of them here today. As far as specifically asking that question, I don't think that has happened at this time, but as I talked to the 3 or 4 that came in today, they were ecstatic about this opportunity.
Yeah, looking back at playing in the old women's gym in Provo to what we have now, and to be joining the WAC is just absolutely awesome. So go UVU.
Mike, do you know what kind of media affiliation that we may have with the Western Athletic Conference as far as exposure and any kind of TV contracts?
I am not aware of that at all. Right now, we've not had any of those kind of discussions. Connie might be able to address that better than me.
I think it's clear to say that, again, now that our membership is shored up, we will pursue that. It was obviously very difficult for the conference to be proactive in gaining another media contract. We've consistently had one in the last, I don't know how many years. But it will certainly be our job as a conference office to continue to expand that as a resource base and a base of exposure for our institutions. Okay. Somebody over there.
What are the chances within the next 5 years Utah Valley University getting a football team?
He's asking you.
I'm unprepared to answer that. I didn't see the question coming. Well, look, I've said for a long time, our next big goal in athletics is to get into a stable, accomplished, regionally focused athletic conference. And we've done that today, and that's the victory we're celebrating. This is exactly where we want to be, and frankly, it's exactly where we want to be without a football team. Football teams are a very expensive proposition. I've never taken it off the table. It has to be a consideration for all the possibilities and potentialities it brings to an institution. But we are trying, unlike a lot of institutions, we are building a university literally as we're building a Division I athletic program. And these are challenging times. And so there's a lot of uncertainty about the next few years. I mean, I'm perfectly confident that UVU was going to grow and become a success, but even things, candidly, like the announcement over the weekend at the LDS General Church Conference, we don't know yet how that's going to affect enrollments and tuitions. These are some big questions, and so I think for right now, we think we're in exactly the place we should be with the sports that we have. With a possible exception, maybe Mike wants to speak to one other possible addition that we're looking at moving forward. But where we want to be, but we're open. We'll just have to let the next few years play out, making sure that we first and foremost build the university as an academic, educational institution, layering in other sports as time and circumstances and finances allow. So, you want to add? Yeah, we're not. There's something else that is on the books right now. So.
Yes, I think we can talk about that. Part of the requirements of membership in the Western Athletic Conference was for us to add men's soccer. Our plan is to do that and be playing the fall of 2014. The thing we're going to do between now and then is have our people working in the community. We've got to fundraise for it. We've got to build a revenue base that'll allow us to provide a first-class coaching staff and participants. And so that's our plan, and we'll go forward and start being very aggressive in that option real soon.
Mike, what and when is the first game as a member of the WAC?
We are a full member July 1st of 2013. So whichever one of our teams, volleyball or soccer or cross country or golf, gets involved at that time, I'm sure it will be a race between them. They'll always all want to be the first one competing in the WAC. But the WAC schedules as far as competition with WAC members has not been established at this time, and we hope that gets done sooner than later because we have a lot of commitments to opponents for next year, and we might have to adjust one way or another. So, but as of July 1st, we will be full, active, participating, paying, competing members of the WAC.
I have a question here. I would ask the question about football a little differently. What is the stance of the WAC in terms of having football and non-football schools at the same time, and how will they move forward with that idea?
I'd just like to note that the question is from our campus librarian. I think that's pretty cool. So.
The two institutions of the WAC in 13-14 that will still be sponsoring football have determined that they will compete as an independent. So for the immediate future, the WAC will not be a football conference. We will be an all-sport Division I conference. Not to say there's not room when you add that program.
I see Dean Jackson out there. He's got eligibility. If he'll come back, I'll think about a football program. So.
Are there any other questions? Again, thank you very much for coming and celebrating this historic event for Utah Valley University. Remember, we have a t-shirt for everyone. We have refreshments on the floor. You can linger and spend the time you want here. Thanks for coming. A great day for UVU.